At this comment, this guy was like, "Yo, if you're so about mindset and law of attraction, why are you making YouTube videos? And why didn't you build another business? Isn't that kind of scammy that you teach this to other people and sell them the dream?" I'm like, "Isn't that the most credible thing? Because I'm literally building it in front of you guys, video by video, client by client, and I have to literally swallow my own pills in order to grow the business. Like literally, that's the only way it works. So by building $1 million business, I've literally proven that my system works. That this meditations, along with this study, along with this, like I've done this stuff and it worked for me as in front of you guys. Because here's like there's layers to this shit. Think of it like a plant. Okay, so you have the plant that's above, and that's what you show to the world. That's your self-image. That's the dream that you have. But below the plant in the soil is the roots, and that's like your beliefs. Okay, I don't know. Let me draw this. Okay, I don't know. Dude, when I'm on these one-on-ones, I just come up with things I just get these visions while kind of teaching. But here's
That's
what I kind of see here. So it's like, let's call this the land. Okay. And we have this plant, right? Whatever, this brush here. So this is what we would call like, or a lot of people would call their dream, right? I have my goal, I have my vision, my dream. And so they're saying that they going after this. Like this is most of their external self-image, right? But below that, we have like roots, right, that go down into the soil, and that is what I'm going to call the beliefs, right? I
mm,
notice this through very, very difficult times that I know I'm made for this material. No matter if if I'm making $1 million a day or I go fucking broke again, have to build it again. I know I'm made for this material. Why was that? Was because I had to re-dig up these plants because I showed I was making seven figures with Bob, and then I had this life, and I had the cars, and I had this and all these things, right? And I showed this in the external world, but then I had to restart again, and I had to restart from the dirt, from sleeping on a couch again, right? And so during those very, very difficult times, I got retested. I retested the roots. I retested, and as I retested, I sprung up and built another business, another seven-figure business. So like now, my beliefs. That's the part. My beliefs on this new plant. It's not. I wouldn't even write it. This next version. It's not a plant. It's a tree now. It's a
mm.
full-grown tree, and it's bigger and it's stronger. So nobody can come and tell me, say, "Yo, DeAndre, your YouTube channel is not going to grow. Yo, DeAndre, you suck at teaching mindset. Yo, DeAndre, you're too emotional. I don't like the way you teach. You should calm down a little bit." Or whatever shit that they say. Like, they can't shake me because my beliefs and my roots and what I'm doing is so much deeper because of the challenges I've been through. The honesty I was able to accept and my ability to rebuild it again. Does that make sense? So, I think
Hmm.
the first question you want to ask yourself, and I ask this to you specifically because you're an artist and I don't understand. Like, first of all, haven't listened to your music, but one thing I do hear a lot is some people aren't that talented yet, and I could see why. Like, it's so funny. I was in Bali, and by the way, I'm not saying you're not talented. I'm just giving you food for thought. What I want to do is challenge your
Hmm.
beliefs.
I got
I
you.
want to challenge your beliefs because if I can say something or a record label or somebody can come in here that you're not that good and you at a belief level don't have strong roots, you'll never match the frequency. And no matter how hard you work, you'll never hit because you don't believe in your root system that you are a good artist. So your tree is a shrub like this and not a full blown palm tree, I guess you can say here, if that makes sense. We got a full
Yep.
blown palm tree and not a shrub. So nobody can shake me. Can somebody shake you say, "Yo, Zane, your shit is trash, bro," on the internet? That's what they'll say. Is your shit trash? But if your belief system is rooted here, and I think the only way you can root it deeply is you have to go through some difficult times. You have to get tested. It's the only way. How do you know how strong you are? Is you get tested. I was tested and I had 40 cents in my account in Dubai. I had to move out of my hotel the next day. I had no food. I did the work I teach you guys, the detachments and that, and then boom, built another 100K. Like literally made 100K the next month. Like that's crazy. But now my root system is deep, and I have a palm tree. So now here I am. I'm like restructuring my business, restructuring my offer, restructuring my YouTube channel. My roots are solid. Like I'm not retesting. Is this the right business for me? Is this a sign I should do something? No. Like my belief system is built. Do you believe that you are that artist? Have you been tested enough? Do you have it in your soul? Have you been rejected enough? Have you worked hard enough to know deep in your roots? Are your roots for a shrub or do you have roots for a palm tree? One of them, you need to hold up pounds and pounds and pounds of force, which is a palm tree. So you need deep roots for that. That's through hard, difficult struggles. Or do you have shrub like roots where that could be lifted, but just say, bro, your music is trash. And I think it's the depth of those roots right there that really dictate our life, man. Like I go, like that's what people feel. You feel my energy. You feel what I talk about because I live it. And that's something people can't take away. And I think that's what people really resonate with in music is they resonate with the person's feelings, their frequency. That's what you're emitting. You're emitting a frequency of people picking up on that. Well, how do you resonate with somebody's frequencies? Because you truly believe that this is your harmony, and people feel that and it's not in your head, it's in your heart. But how do you get in your heart is these roots right here, these belief systems. Do you think you're that artist? Like, yes, you have to build the skills. Like, I know I got to build better skills, be better teacher, better at sales, better at making content. I know that, but in my heart, I know this is what I'm supposed to be. I just get better and better, and nothing can sway me, whether it's monetary, financially, law, whatever. I'm here to stay, and that's what I want to do. Because I think it's so funny because I could pick up freaks. I love music, brother. I'm not an artist, but my dad's in the music industry. I love music. And it's something you can hear with the ear, but I think it has more to do with the person's frequency more than the talent. I'll give you an
Hmm.
example. I was in Bali and we would have like the music playing in the villa on YouTube and stuff.
Hmm.
And my girlfriend likes R&B. And she's also a singer, right? But she likes R&B, like 90s R&B, Bryson Tiller, these kind of things, right? And one day I just walked downstairs and I heard a song playing. Typically if you play a playlist, it plays the most popular songs with millions of views. Summer Walker, SZA, Drake, The Weeknd, right? These big players, right? And I came downstairs and there was this song playing and I heard it and I heard the lady's voice and I said, "This video." Remember, I've never heard this person. This video has less than 100,000 views, and I can hear it in the voice. And I literally got out of my way because I felt in my intuition, my frequency, and I went to look at the video, 37,000 views. I knew it from the sound of the voice that it was like this one's not it. I could hear
Hmm.
her trying in her mind, but in my heart I hit it like whatever she was transmitting in her subconscious mind through that song was recorded on vinyl through YouTube and then played to me and I picked that up in my own subconscious mind and knew that view had less than 100,000 views, which it did. Does that make sense? So it's like the song carries with it a frequency or your subconscious beliefs onto the other person.
This
I don't know
is
if this is
so.
making sense.
This makes so much sense, and I love where you're going with this because are actually like you are giving me so much wisdom here. I appreciate it. It's actually so legit. You're so correct about this.
Yeah. So what's like the action plan is that I think it really gets down to those beliefs, dude. I think it's really going
Mm.
and challenging yourself, going through some difficult times. It's like you don't try to do difficult times, right? Nobody really wants to. It's like you go out there and you like everything I say, be of service, work, build, dream, create, try to do it bigger, try to do it better, try to be of more service. Really go after it all, like go all in on it. Um when you're getting
Mhm.
challenged, being challenged to level up yourself, level up right now, like for example, personal life, being able to make the decisions you need to adjust your personal life or your beliefs. Like it just comes down to the beliefs. Like how do you identify it? How do you make it stronger? That's what we need to do. Zane, it's like here. This is a shrub. Like I'm from California, San Diego, so we have these little shrubs. It's chaparral, uh, kind of environment. You've seen LA, so you understand. These little shrubs. So the little shrubs have little beliefs. If you
Mhm.
a palm tree, which is what you're describing to me, what you want to manifest, a bigger and better version of it, you need deeper roots at a deep subconscious level that this is really what you want. You know how I know you're not there, Zane? You're still doing music production for money. If you knew deep in your heart, God sent deep belief that this was all you want, where you were a palm tree, you would not have the confusion to be a shrub doing music production. You'd be all in as a palm tree. Why would the roots of a deep palm tree even consider shrubbery? That doesn't make sense because you're so deep on this. So I think that you are still playing middleman. You are a shrub that feels in its heart that it can be a palm tree, but the belief system is is a shrub.
You're
Until
spot on.
you
You're spot on.
and you're looking at the palm tree, you're looking at the upper, like you're looking at, oh, what it can be, a C type goal, me playing in front of music, that's great. You see the palm tree, you see the bigger version above the surface, but yet you haven't built the beliefs and the roots deep enough to allow you to truly encompass that. Like you will find me doing this next year, I guarantee you. I don't know how where I'll be. I know I'll be winning, but I don't like I will still be doing this. This is my life. I'm dedicated to this forever. Why? I've built strong enough belief system. I've dug deep into myself through challenge, through BM service, work, build, dream, create, and that this is what I'm supposed to be. So my root system, my belief system is deep. Therefore, you see my palm tree. Not that's what is this making sense?
Yeah, it is. It is. And I feel like you're right. Like I do need to build the stronger beliefs and embed it more in that belief system. I agree with you. I feel like that is what's limiting me is um is exactly that. I actually do feel that's exactly what it is. And you're
Yeah.
making me more aware through this call. So it's very revealing actually.
Yes.
Um
So the beliefs. You do this through repetition. You get very clear on what belief you want to replace. You know,
mhm,
and you just do it repetitiously until you um, replace the old one. It's just done through repetition, and then you're gonna get hit with a challenge. And
mhm,
once you overcome that challenge, just like a GTA character, you go from level 7 to level 8. And it's overcoming the challenge that will cement the belief. So use repetition. Well, first of all, use your conscious mind to decide what belief you want. Okay. Then use repetition to plant into the subconscious mind. Keep saying it over and over and over throughout the day. Meditate on it, see it. Then that phase of repetition is where people get lost. This is where they're like, oh my God, it's not working. That is because you
mhm.
don't have the eyes to see and the ears to hear. This is where a coach can comes in, or you just do it yourself, or you just ask the God, right? But this is why you hired me for the coaching part. Then it'll be a 7 to 21 day period if you're doing repetition correctly, which you know how to do now, as we're teaching you. When you do the repetition correctly, within 7 to 21 days, doors will start to open, or what will most likely look like is challenges, roadblocks. These things will start to come up against you,
Mhm.
where really you have choices to make. Do you go back to shrub like roots, or do you go all in on the roots of the palm? Does it make sense? Like for
Yeah.
example, I remember right before Mr. Law of Attraction, uh, I had a couple clients, but it was nothing crazy, like 7K a month or shit like this, right? But my expenses are high, right? And I remember just like breaking down to my grandma on accident. Like I don't ever cry to my grandma. I just try to keep it. But my grandma's like my mom, right? I remember talking to
Mhm.
her, and I just remember telling her that, oh, because I was in Dubai, and she's like, you should come back home, and I just started breaking down. I had so much pain inside of me for trying to make my dream come true. Moving to Dubai, starting with Bob Proctor, right? 5 years of this, and I just all this massive pain of me just trying to make this happen just came up, and I just started crying and bawling. And I didn't know how much pain I had been through, just trying to make my dream happen. And then I don't know. That's when I really realized like I really go after what I want. I really do. Even if sometimes it
Mhm.
doesn't work, that pain just kind of gets deep, and that's what those roots are. That each level of pain, really going after what you want, it's just like really builds like deeper roots into what you are. So like that pain kind of made me realize like I really love this material, and I really challenged myself to get out there. And that's when everything started to open up. So in as you A, choose your conscious belief, B, do it repetitiously, detach, do everything we teach in the program, right? That's what that part of the program, for Tuesday and Thursdays, right?
Mhm.
And then now 7 to 21 days, the door will open where you probably get challenged. So the month I'm crying to my grandma that this I'm trying to build this mindset business. I'm not gonna I'd rather die than go back home. I'd rather die than not have to like figure this shit out. Like literally, I was literally at the point of like jumping off a balcony. I swear to God. Like I was like, this shit has to work. Uh, and then I just detached, and that's when I just left coaching. And then the next month, my coaching business took off. You know, so it's
True.
like that. That's what I mean, dude. Like you need to go hit that challenge level. People hit that challenge, what we call the terror barrier, right? And they
Mhm.
bounce off. But that was your one opportunity to level up, bro. There's gonna be an opportunity where you're gonna have to give up the production studio without income, or there's going to be a place where you're going to have to go on tour without the money, or go to the show without the dude. There's something that's going to happen where you're not going to have the outside resources, whether it's the money, the contact, the whatever, something, some type of challenge, and it's you blasting through that terror barrier that builds that deeper root that allow you to build your palm tree. First, the
Mhm.
root, the belief, then the palm tree, your result being manifest.
Yeah. I think this is so valuable right now. I'm actually so grateful for this. You know, I'm on week 6 of TIR, and when I was in the school group, that was the one that I was like kept coming back to, the self-image, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And just the other day, I think it was last night actually, I finally wrote out a new script for like, you know, what I really want to be as, you know, as a great artist and all these different things. And how I guess it's the process of reading that, repeating that, feeling that, envisioning that on a daily basis. Um, and yeah, taking the steps.
Yep. Not
Um,
not here's the big question I have for you now.
okay.
Which action step do you need to take right now? You know it already. You probably been holding on to it, putting it to the side. Is there an action step? There's only one of two answers. One, you know the action step in your heart, you've been sitting on it through fear or something, or you don't really know, like completely have no idea, and you need to ask for clarity from God, from source.
I feel like there's,
Which category are you in?
I feel like it's both because I feel like I have so much music that I can release and that I'm working on to release. But at the same time, I'm like, what is the best way to do that? You know, like for instance, I did just release a song a couple of weeks ago, and I'm in the process of doing a lot of like guitar cover songs to try to get, you know, more consistent with content creation and marketing myself online. But I'm also like, when I released that song 2 weeks ago, I didn't do it in the best way that I would do if I was really like had more experience. And so and you know, I ran an ad campaign, but I will get better at that. So now it's like I think obviously I need to keep releasing more music
Yeah.
consistently. But
Here,
yeah, go ahead.
yeah, you need to be way more consistent. Bro, you releasing songs is me releasing YouTube videos. I'm
Hmm.
testing thumbnails, testing styles, test. You know, the video that blew me up was driving cars. That's not gonna get me to where I want to go. So I like, for example, the video I posted last night of the call was the first time I've ever posted a video like that. That's me
Hmm.
experimenting. This is me going from like, this kind of style of rap to like 90 style of rap to 80 style of rap to future rap. Like it's like you need to test things, and that means you have to be
Hmm.
producing way more content. There was this, I was listening to a song. I listen to rap, so I was listening to a
Yeah.
song, Benjamin's Burn by Future. He did that album with DJ Eskimo,
Okay.
and there was this part of the song where he said, "I'm just trying to make 10 songs before I doze off," right? Which obviously talks about his drugs and shit. But the
Hmm.
point of it, I said, he's like, he literally says that he was making 10 songs a day. There's some people that don't even make 10 songs a month, and his entire living was being in the studio making 10 songs a day.
That's
That's why
mad.
he's at where he's at. These guys have 500, 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 5,000 songs, and you may have only heard of 200 of them, if that, 100 of them. But yet they have 1,000 recorded. These people work, and they work on themselves. Like you need the both. So releasing one song, Zane, come on now. Releasing one song and then doing an ad campaign, bro. You need to be releasing a song a day. Whether that's a YouTube channel. I know. I'm just saying. I could put a YouTube video out a day. I highly produce on. If I work my fucking ass off, I might do like a 30-day challenge. But that's work, dude.
Mhm.
Like it takes me 4 hours to make one of those things. And especially if I want to do higher production and scripting, I might even have to do 6 hours to make one video. I mean, if I have to do that every single day, fuck it. I'll do a 30-day challenge, which I'm thinking about doing. Right? And
Mhm.
you got to post every day.
Yeah.
Choosing a platform that potentially can get you some traffic as well can be easier. Like, for example, YouTube. YouTube has organic traffic. If one thing goes viral, potentially, or you can start to build an audience. That's what you want to do. SoundCloud, you build an audience. You need an audience. That's what you need, an organic audience. I have
True.
never, I've never listened to a song from an ad. If somebody needs to use an ad to get their song in front of me, then it's not a good song. Like it's just not. It
That's
just
true.
doesn't make sense. Why do I need an ad? Every song for example, we was at the mall yesterday shopping, and I was in the bathroom listening to this song, and it was this nice like it was like a modern song that
Hmm.
he sampled some like 90s R&B, and it sounded beautiful. I was like, dude, I love this song. And I put it on my Shazam, and I added it to my playlist. I love that. Like, and I found out the dude only has 100,000 views. There's a dude, like for example, here's an example of what I'm talking about. I'm going down this route that you don't need like the special strategies, bro. You just need to be consistent, make more content, post on a platform that can allow you to build an audience. So select your platform. This is where you have to use your conscious mind. Is it SoundCloud? Is it YouTube? I selected YouTube. I don't do Instagram. I don't do TikTok. When you have good music, it will find the right people. Remember,
Hmm.
you are emitting a frequency. I'm doing the same thing. I'm doing it with YouTube videos to get clients. You're doing the same thing to get your music in front of listeners. We use the same thing. We're going to put our conscious mind, our subconscious mind, and our actions, aka our frequency, and we're going to record it. And as we record it, we're going to release it into the platforms that makes the most sense for us. And these platforms have their own agenda, which are going to promote our content for their benefit as well. So we have an agreement. We have an agreement with I have an agreement with YouTube. I will put out good content to keep your people on the platform to a degree, and in exchange, you promote it to more people, and I get more clients. We have an agreement, an unwritten agreement. Now, via frequencies, my shit will go out into the world and find the right people at the right time. Right now, somebody just found my YouTube video and on this call and it's going to change their life. I didn't have to do that. I just emitted it to the world, let the frequency and vibrations take care of itself. I just got to make sure I don't have to look at the end result, which is the client in my bank account. I just have to see the front end, which is what is the frequency from which I'm emitting the content. So that's why I'm going back to A, fixing my personal life, and B, fixing the frequency from which I make the content. My content has shifted. I became more transactional. I have become a little bit too much show and less tell, right? Too much flashy shit, cars and stuff, right? And that's what I did in Dubai. So when I get back to Dubai, I'm not doing any of this stuff. It's straight content with a real heart to give. And with that frequency of giving, people will naturally feel a reciprocity where they need to give back via subscriptions or hiring me to help them. So I was making content, but I wasn't converting. So if I make content now with this heart, it will convert because of the frequency from which I'm taking the action. Now, when you're making your songs, it's the same thing. The same thing I just said
Hmm.
for me, YouTube, you're doing the same thing, but for music. It will get if you believe. Hey, if we start with the beliefs, like if you build the right beliefs that you are a palm tree, not a shrub, then you start working, building, dreaming, creating, being consistent, making a song a day, bro. You should be making a song a day, 2 songs a day, 3 songs a day, whatever it is. Like there's no going out. There's no dates. There's no girls. There's locking in, and you're making your songs, and you're saying, working on your frequency, your thoughts, your feelings, your actions, and you just make the best, and one of them will hit. 90 days. That's it. And that's just being consistent with it.
Let me ask you a question. So, and this is exactly about that. And you mentioned in that video with the red Lambo where you're like, okay, let me switch to that frequency. Do you have any advice on that or thoughts on that?
Yeah, it's
Switching
just
to
yeah, you just it's more of like a mental game. Yeah, just it's like the quantum jump. Like the way I implement it, well, first of all, I have this idea of like image, an idea of what this version of myself looks like. So I just simply close my eyes, take a breath, open up, and I'm the new person. I just make a mental switch. Because like right now, I'm DeAndre in front of you, right?
Mhm.
Like this is how I've been talking to you. But watch, if I do this, what's going on, guys? It's your man, Mr. Law of Attraction, back for another video. In this video, we got Zane on the video. We're talking about how he went from being a music producer to selling out his first show. 100,000 people came up to his first show. Zane, tell the people, how did you do it? See, that's a different person right there. You see, like it's like you get into like this character. That's a different frequency. Now
Mhm.
that's a basic example of what I'm saying. It's like You're one version of yourself, and then through some mental chemistry, which is you flip to the conscious creative version of yourself, you say, how would I make this song as if I was playing? You just play from the heart.
Okay. So I gotta have that vision of who I want to be, who I'm gonna be as like the superstar artist,
Yeah,
and
you
then
already know what to do,
feeding that
Zane.
whole.
You already know what to do. You already know the answer. You already know the answer, man.
All right, man. I appreciate it. I think this has been a very valuable call. I don't know if you have any other thoughts. I mean, I think you've given me like the root, like just talking about the roots as the beliefs and solidifying that has been like,
Yeah. Now you just gotta go work, dude. Like, obviously, I was doing the recording of this.
mhm,
There's massive work you gotta go do now. You gotta go if you don't have the clear mental pictures in the conscious mind, go build it, which you should already have. Right now, you gotta go start doing the repetition of that image. Okay, building the belief over the next 7 to 21 days. Start looking for the opportunities to shift because everything that's coming in your life that seems like a challenge is actually for your favor. Like right now, my YouTube channel going what seems to be on the surface backwards is actually a setup for me to win. It's saying, DeAndre, this is not the way you're supposed to do it. So now I go into a solve problem mode to find the new solution. And this solution 10x is what I've done the entire 6 months in the channel. So really, was it going down for my detriment or for my positive expansion? That's how you want to see it. So you have to get to this phase. So you got work to do. So if you start today, you can start to expect this week, next week, at the earliest, maybe the following week, start to see that opportunity where bullshit starts to come to you, but really it's the disguise for you to shift into the next section. So you have a lot of work to do, man. So that's
mhm,
like the next week or two, 2 to 3 weeks right there of work. And then you got to start doing your quantum actions, right? That's on the spiritual plane. Now on the physical plane, you got to be making a song a day. You got to be posting on the platform that makes sense, which is YouTube, SoundCloud, and getting better. Like you have a lot of massive work and a lot of massive actions to take. Like this is something where we would like touch back in like 2 weeks. Really,
mhm.
like you have 2 weeks worth of work right now, literally.
Oh, at least for sure. Yeah, absolutely. And I feel like I'm already seeing, like I was talking about with the particular clients who are trying to book sessions with me the last couple of weeks. It's been like it's almost like the universe is pushing me away from trying to run this studio as a business. You know what I mean?
It's supposed
And
to be easier. Whenever it doesn't seem like it's supposed to be easier, it's because that's an example of God putting you in the right position. Okay, for example,
mhm.
this apartment I'm in, beautiful apartment. I was in a trash apartment before. Like, remember I had the blurry screen on the calls last week? It was embarrassing. It was like the kitchen was behind me. It was like it's actually this building right in front of me, right here. It's
Oh,
like this. It's like the most fanciest Airbnb in all of like Bangkok is this one. The photos are all fancy. It's like $200 a day, and it was like a studio. It was so embarrassing that on my camera, instead of like a nice background, it was a kitchen or this crappy ass balcony. And I was like, dude, and I spent literally at least 5 days and probably 5 hours, 6 hours trying to find an Airbnb here in Bangkok. And I was frustrated, anxiety, even like I had to like take a break. I went out for a walk, and I was just like, dude, nothing. Like, why can I not find an apartment? And then I just out of nowhere, this random apartment just pulled up out of nowhere, brand new. I'm like the first guest here, and look at this place. It is a super luxury like duplex. There's like another bedroom up there, has offices, pool, and now this is a brand new, literally a brand new building, has everything that I needed. So I went through all that BS just to find this one, and it didn't need to be that hard. It showed up right when I literally asked for it. But now look at my background; it's got this gold and stuff everywhere, and this is actually cheaper than the one over there. That's all like trash, you know. More space, more amenities, more offices, more pools, more spas, brand new, no people, super luxury for less price than when I was paying for the other one, struggling trying to find a place. That's what I'm talking about. It's supposed to be easier. And whenever you find yourself working too hard, and by the way, you have to catch yourself because you start working like normal. You're working because you have to work, right? But then you start going down the rabbit hole. You kind of start digging deeper instead of like stopping digging and go to the next hole. We start dig, and it's like now it's been 2 weeks, and you're like, why am I so frustrated? And you just kept this momentum of digging deeper because it's just you started down that path, but you have the conscious awareness to maybe stop digging and use your, instead of you're looking for gold, instead of stop digging with your hand, maybe stop, look at your map of where the gold vein is, and then start digging again. Most people don't even look at the gold vein map. They just keep digging, digging, working, wondering why they're so burnt out.
It's true.
That's where consciousness comes in.
That's true. I really got to reshift my energy, and put it into like, yeah, what I need to do now. So I appreciate this.
Yeah,
Um,
you got it, man. You have your next action steps. So you should. Now I know we had our one-on-ones. I know I should keep you accountable. So whenever you're asking questions on the rest of the week, you should uh yeah, I know what you're doing.
okay.
Awesome, bro. Do you feel like this group's way better than the $300 a month, right?
Yeah, I mean the $300 a month, I'm not even, it's almost like a whole different world. Like, yeah, obviously we were on the call, but I also like the mastermind as well. And the one we
Yeah.
did yesterday was really good actually. Because just when you're talking to people in your day-to-day life as entrepreneurs, most people just can't relate to that. And so they will, they'll try to hold you back and project their limiting beliefs onto you and stuff like that. So being
Hmm.
around people that are at a higher level, willing to invest in themselves, are entrepreneurial, that's very important. And I don't have a lot of people in my life that are going for it, you know what I mean? And like trying
Yeah.
to actually pursue it. Even like the talented artists that I've worked with, they have limited beliefs in their mindset, which is why they're not making their careers work. Like I've worked with some very talented people that don't have successful careers. And it's like,
Yeah.
why is that? You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
that's where
Now you know.
I knew the mindset is so important. You know what I mean? Um, and I've achieved things in my life. Obviously, I have the studio. I've been able to make it into a business, and even since watching your channel, like I found a new apartment. I've changed my life in a lot of different ways since finding your channel in the first place. So,
Nice.
you've been helping me since I discovered your YouTube channel. So I have to give you credit for that. And it's just grown as, I got into the school group, got into the group thing. This hour has been very, very valuable. So I can see why, you're making your thing happen. You know what I mean? You're on the right
Yeah.
frequency. And when I saw that
Yeah.
that video of you with the red Lambo, I saw you in a different frequency. Like you switched to that mode. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
That I'm just trying to do it now. We get back to Dubai, and I definitely feel like it's an interesting thing. Um, I left Dubai because I felt like I needed a break. I didn't need it, but I felt it was a good time. We went
mhm,
to Bali, and I even when I got there, I told my business partner, I was like, I don't think I'm gonna stay here. I might only be here for a month, but my intuition tells me I'm supposed to be here. So
mm,
that first month in Bali was all about reflection. That I kind of got distracted in Dubai. That it was kind of an ego thing where it's like, dude, you're showing all these cars, which makes sense because that's why I blew up was with the cars, right? Because I was doing a car channel, right? But
mhm,
I got too down the rabbit hole. Is what I'm talking about. Like I was digging without looking at my gold vein. I was going down. It got because all those cars were free. Like I didn't spend any of that money. Then it got to the point where I was trying to duplicate that success. Then I started spending money, and it wasn't working. And it started giving me an image of like a try hard type thing. And I was just like, and I didn't realize that while I was working in the vein. Makes sense. So now I got to do the Bali, and I kind of reflect and be like, that's not where I want to go. I want to be a value driven person, right? And now here in Bangkok, and it's a different phase, right? This phase is all about fixing my personal life. So now when I get back to Dubai, I have a different image of myself and I have different habits. So when we get back, we scale. You see, that's what life will do to you sometimes. And that's why I always think like changing environments helps. It's
mm.
because like you can have these kind of shifts. Um, but yeah, but I had a question for you actually.
Yeah,
What
sure.
made you actually upgrade? Like, what made you go from the 300K $300 a month one to spending 8,500? Like, that's a big gap if you think about it. Which for similar information, that's a lot more money. Like, what the value? What difference? What separated? Like, what special was it that made you want to upgrade?
I think I just wanted a bigger change, and I was like, you know what? I've invested in coaching before. I think I had mentioned on the first call that we had how a year ago I had invested in a different coach for artistry, and like even though I didn't do the strategy that she wanted, it still helped my business and it was a worthy investment. And I'm all about investing in myself and investing in my mindset. Also, I've seen a lot of the testimonials. Like even just before this, I was watching Vaughn's testimonial. So, I'm the type of person who wants to invest in myself, and your energy seemed like the right person to help me move forward. And I just knew that I needed a bigger mindset shift, you know? So I don't know
Mm.
exactly if that answers the question, but I just needed a bigger change. And I know that again, when you invest in yourself, like you always say in these testimonials, when you pay attention. And so I knew that if I invested more in myself, I believe I'm going to get a bigger return on that investment.
Which is so
Um,
true. I was actually thinking about how thinking into results can be pirated very easily. Like you could just Google it. I truly believe that nobody will get results. If I would have pirated it, I wouldn't have gotten results. I know it. There's something that happens energetically that can't be seen that when you pay for this information.
it's
Like
so
like
true.
remember you're a student like me. Like I didn't create the program, but dude, when you pay for it, it's different than pirating it or getting a login from somebody else. It's way different.
I believe it's like any business, like for me, continuing to raise my price in the studio, um, helped me to, just make people take it more seriously. And I believe that people value what they pay for. That was something I learned from somebody else. I think it was another coach like years ago, but it's like people value what they pay for. And the more you
Yeah.
pay for something, the more you value it. So yeah, I had, TIR. I didn't have I even had the one-on-one coaching with you every week, or like the group coach in school group. But it's just different when you're around people. And obviously, you teach your stuff on the Tuesday calls, which has your unique perspective and just having your energy. Like you have a good energy. And when I started watching your YouTube channel back in August, you reinvigorated my ambition.
Like I said, I'm not some expert that claims to have this shit figured out. All I am is a couple years ahead of you guys as an older brother. I literally, like I said on the call, at this comment, this guy was like, "Yo, if you're so about mindset and law of attraction, why are you making YouTube videos? And why didn't you build another business? Isn't that kind of scammy that you teach this to other people and sell them the dream?" I'm like, "Isn't that the most credible thing? Because I'm literally building it in front of you guys, video by video, client by client, and I have to literally swallow my own pills in order to grow the business. Like literally, that's the only way it works. So by building $1 million per month business, I've literally proven that my system works. That this meditations, along with this study, along with this, like I've done this stuff and it worked for me as in front of you guys.